And even though you're stuck in it now and it's affecting your life, it's affecting your freedom, it's affecting your ability to act on your own. Now you're starting to act automatically. Now you can't help yourself. Now you're stuck feeding into the system while it is also simultaneously sucking your freedom and life out of you. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the question, are you stuck in the matrix? So this is a conceptual video of something that kind of has been rattling inside of my brain, asking myself these questions, because there are some things that I'm stuck in a system type of way, and they affect my behavior, they affect my psychology and everything like that, and cause me to be part of a bigger system, which is what I'm calling the matrix. So again, this is a very conceptual video, so don't take this too literally about, like, is life a simulation? That's not quite what I'm saying. Although you could ask yourself that, I guess. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be talking about this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. But let's get right into it. So what is the matrix? So in my head, the way that I kind of think of things is like, when I say the matrix, I mean some kind of bigger, broader system that has the intent of keeping people in it to feed that system, causing it to continue to grow and expand on its own as its own entity, and eventually it becomes self-feeding and self-fulfilling, I guess, in a way. But mostly it's just a big or broad system that is designed in order to grow, but also in order to keep people in it. It's to keep people in this system. And this is a very real thing, especially when it comes to technology and stuff like that. And I know that when people hear the Matrix, they can think about Andrew Tate and how he says, oh, the Matrix is trying to stop me and all that stuff like that. But what I'm really talking about here is, what are the things in life, like these systems that are things in your day-to-day life that cause you to get stuck in them and prevent you from breaking free in a way, and prevent you from actually growing to be individual and growing to be outside of this system, to be able to maybe make a system on your own, hopefully not in an evil way. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say the matrix. But the question that I really was asking myself this, or the reason why I was asking myself this question, is because I was thinking, like, how often do I get stuck on my phone every single day? And your phone is a huge version of the matrix, especially TikTok and other social medias that have those shorts and reels and all that stuff. That is literally like the biggest example of the matrix I can think of. It is literally a system designed to suck you in, to keep you on it, to feed the algorithm, to give them more data, to give them more money, to keep them building and building and building it even further, to put more money into it and to put more resources into it, to cause it to grow even more, causing you to get in the system even more and help continue making it grow. And it keeps you sucked in there. And it could be a good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing. It's important to realize, some people say, don't get a 9-to-5 job is the matrix. And if you get stuck in a 9-to-5, then you're a slave to the, like, that's a very extreme and broad generalization to make. Although in some instances it can be true. But the thing about a system and how it works, there's such thing as a matrix in a way that can be a negative, but there's also such thing as a system that needs people to feed it. How do you think, like, the military works? Like, if there's only commanders and there's no actual soldiers, who the hell is going to fight in the military? Nobody. So it's the same thing when it comes to business and stuff like that. There has to be some kind of, hierarchical way that it goes about, and some kind of leaders, and some people that are above and some people that are part of the system, because a system cannot run without its individual parts. If you just put a turn on button on a system but you don't put the parts to make it actually run, it's not going to run. So the same applies for, like, businesses and stuff of that sort. So it's important to realize that just because it's a system like that, or it might be a matrix, doesn't automatically mean it's bad automatically. But there can be ways that you will get stuck in this system. So again, it's really important to realize that just because you're a part of the system or are helping it run and grow, that doesn't automatically mean it's a bad thing, but it's something that you should question and ask yourself. Is this something I really want for myself? Some people, like my grandfather, he's been in landscaping for like 25 or 20 plus years and been doing it his whole life. And you could say that he's a part of the system. He's a part of a bigger, what do you call it? It's like a bigger company that just helps it make more money, make more money. But the thing is that's what he wants. That's what he likes. He's fine with being, how some people might call it, and I'm not trying to say this in an offensive way, a worker ant, if you will. You're a part of the bigger system by just being the laborer or being the worker, but that doesn't automatically mean that's a bad thing. Some people want and prefer that for themselves. Not everybody wants to be the leader. Not everybody wants to be super high tech and start to advance a company and make it grow and grow and grow. But there are some people that are like that. However, just because you're a part of this like matrix in a way doesn't automatically mean it's a bad thing. Some people like to make it seem like these entrepreneurs are like, oh, if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're in the matrix and you need to get out of it. Like, you have to realize that every single business grows because it has people working for it. If you are not everybody in the world can't make a business, because if everybody in the world is an entrepreneur, then who's going to work for them? Nobody, because everyone's their own entrepreneur. So the same applies when you're a part of a system like that. Like, yes, it can be a bad thing if it prevents you from having the freedom that you really want and want like to work for and want to have in your life. But at the same time, you need to ask yourself, I forgot which one I was talking about, but at the same time, you need to question and ask yourself, is this what I want? And a big thing that I was thinking about when I was asking myself this is like, oh my gosh, like this social media, yes, it's good. It's good for connecting to people. It's good for talking, meeting new people, just for, memes, all that stuff. Yes, it's fun. It's good. But in a way, it's a matrix. Am I stuck in it? Am I stuck in this constant loop? It affects literally your psychology. The way that it has, and I don't want to say incorrect information because I know that there's a trend to say like, oh, it causes a dopamine feedback loop, which I know that there's some truth to that. But if you learn a little bit more about biology and neurochemistry, it's not quite that simple, but there is some truth to that. But either way, it does directly cause you to have your psychology affected, causing you to further and further and further act on the psychology that is affected, causing you to work, or not even work, but move and act towards that system in a way that's causing it to grow, that may be hindering you. You need to ask yourself, am I a slave to my phone? Am I a slave to social media? And I can definitely say that I am sometimes in myself. I catch myself on social media for like freaking hours, like a lot of people. And then next thing you know, dude, your whole day is ruined. If you want to be productive and you get stuck on social media, you just are being a part of the matrix. You're feeding the algorithm, you're feeding the system that's causing it to grow, while you're also preventing yourself and taking away your own personal freedom. But again, I don't want to say this to say that it's bad to feed a bigger system. It's bad to be a part of the working system, the interworking parts, because every system has to have those working parts and people. But if it's taking away your freedom and what you really want for yourself, you need to ask yourself. You need to sit and honestly ask yourself, am I stuck in this matrix? A really, really, really big one that is such a detriment to the minds of the youth and adults and kids, even kids now in society, is porn. Pornography is awful for your brain. It's so bad for you. And now there's all these people saying like, oh no, masturbation's good for you and all this stuff. Like, it's not good for you. And especially, even if you don't want to argue that, pornography is horrible for you, but it is a trap so many people, and me, myself in the past included, like, so many people get stuck in this trap of, they have a day at work, they get stressed, they do this and that. I guess I'll just watch porn and just, do all that. And then they get stuck doing it over and over and over. And next thing you know, you're part of a bigger problem now. You are feeding this system that is causing itself to expand into the youth and more people. And that's even though you're stuck in it now, and it's affecting your life, it's affecting your freedom, it's affecting your ability to act on your own. Now you're starting to act automatically. Now you can't help yourself. Now you're stuck feeding into the system while it is also simultaneously sucking your freedom and life out of you, which is not a good thing. So you need to start to ask yourself, when you catch yourself doing automatic behaviors, when you catch yourself feeding into some kind of system that relies on you acting or interacting with it, acting upon it, whatever, when you have that, you need to ask yourself, is this affecting what I want for myself? Is this affecting my freedom, my mental freedom? And then change whether or not you act upon it. And a really big thing for me in the past, and I can still safely say that I have struggled with and do from time to time, is a slave to substances. Even if it's something as simple as caffeine, like you can become a slave to caffeine, although it sounds stupid and like overreacting because it's not crack or whatever. Like, you becoming a slave to something that starts to get control over your life and causes you to act on or into it in order to appease it, in a way, like appease your brain, that just will cause detriment and cause you to become more and more animalistic, more primal, which in some ways can be good, but a lot of ways it can be really bad. So it's important to think about, am I playing into and feeding into a bigger system that's causing me to be more and more a part of it, causing me to have my freedom of my mind and my body and my soul? Is it taking that away from me? And if it is, that's something you might want to heavily consider. Is this something I want to do anymore? Like social drinking is one that a lot of people can fall into that may not even be alcoholics, but then the next thing you know, every time they're at a function, they have no mental choice to drink alcohol. People can say, how is that a matrix? It's a part of a bigger system. Now in society, it's so normally accepted to drink alcohol and to smoke cigarettes or whatever. And maybe smoke cigarettes not as much anymore because, people know the detrimental effects of the body for smoking cigarettes. But it's a part of a big system. A lot of people do it. A lot of people drink alcohol. That doesn't mean alcohol is automatically bad, but, the more and more you play into your automatic behaviors that are feeding, the companies and are feeding, your social interactions, then you start to rely on those things in order to have some kind of normality in your life. Like that becomes your new normal, and you're just a part of all these different systems. I know I'm talking very, very like all over the place, but there are so many different systems in your life that you are constantly playing into, and some of them are good. When you play into into the system of like a meditation app, you start to meditate every day. Well then, if you're saying that that's a matrix because you're paying for this monthly subscription, that's paying people that are the owners of the company and causing them to grow and expand. You can ask yourself, is that a matrix? Yeah, could potentially be. Does that mean it's bad? No. Just because... Just trying to make sure my camera's focusing properly on me. Is it? I think so. But that's just something you need to ask yourself. Am I a part of this matrix? Am I stuck in this? Is it hindering me in my freedom and what I want for myself? And although you may not be able to attack all the different matrices in your life at once, it's something you should heavily think about and consider when acting in a way that is causing these matrices to grow. And the biggest one for me that I'm really trying to focus on right now is social media. And you could even argue that me uploading a video is feeding into the matrix that is infecting the mind of the youth or whatever. And in a way, you could technically be true, but is it taking away from the personal freedom of myself? No, in a way, I'm taking action and am freeing myself by getting these thoughts in my mind and concepts and sharing them with others to hopefully help people become more and more mindful in order to do the same for themselves and not feel like they have to rely on this. But you have to remember at the same time, your actions could play a role in other people being stuck in these matrices. And although it may not be your specific, it may not be your fault, you can't control other people, you have to realize that it also does impact others. The more and more you feed the system, the more people it spreads to, because that's the way society works. It works in a way that the more and more people cling onto some kind of system or some kind of group or app or whatever, the more other people are like, all these other people are doing it, so maybe I should too. And although again, that's not inherently bad, when you feed into a system that is taking the freedom from people, the freedom of their mind, their body, their soul, then you're playing into that system, causing it to spread to others, infecting the mind of other people, and taking away that power and control people have of their own lives. So, yeah, that's just kind of been my thoughts because, when I get stuck on these apps and stuff like that, it's like, dude, where did my day just go? All I did all day was just basically pay all these people, all these creators, which, it's cool. These people want freedom of themselves and their own lives, but at what cost? To ruin my own day? Maybe if I'm a person that really doesn't care about what I do, I'm a more casual person, I'm not as structured. I prefer to just live and let live, or whatever you want to call it, and just, go day by day. And, if I get on my phone all day, so be it, then that's perfectly fine. If that's not taking away your personal freedom and your ability to control yourself. But you have to look at the things in your life and ask yourself, are these things controlling me? Am I able to pull out of these systems and be able to live and be myself? Or if I do so, will it give me more freedom? Will it give me more happiness? Will it give me peace? Because doing so can make a huge impact on your life. And it's crazy because now social media has gotten to the point where it's grown so big that you could literally, you could follow all these people and say hypothetically that none of them give you any kind of redeeming content. All of it's negative, and it's not going to do any good for you. It's just all purpose, all entertainment, and none of it is feeding your mind in a good way. So you're like, you know what? I want to delete it. There's a good chance that if all your friends and family are on there and people are sending you memes, you're going to want to just re-download it just for the fact that you want to be connected to these other people, and you are stuck in a way to this matrix. And it's just crazy because you can want to get your freedom from that and almost have it and really not have it, because now, since the other people around you are stuck in this system, now you are too, by virtue of wanting to be in connection with these others, wanting to be like others, and wanting to not be alone in that, in a way. And if not, maybe that could literally just be me, but that's kind of how I feel. I'm always deleting Instagram and YouTube and stuff because I get so sucked into them and so stuck on them all day for like hours, and I can waste so much time that I could be using in order to expand my mind, to grow, to learn, to just practice self-control. But I end up scrolling mindlessly and feeding into that system, sending a bunch of memes to others, and others may get on their phone more because of that, and then because of that it causes them to do the same for other people, and then other people and other people. So I'm not trying to be doomsday type here, but it is definitely something to think about. Is the way that you act and the systems you play into affecting you and your life, your freedom, and all those around you? Because it can be, and some people don't want to be freed from that system, and that's okay. You can't force them to want to save themselves from these matrices. That's kind of sometimes what they're designed for, is to keep you in there and keep you wanting it. Like even like fast food is a matrix, because the way that the food is designed is in order to spike dopamine in a way, like to taste good and to give people food, obviously, at the cheapest cost possible to make the most amount of money, while also spiking dopamine in the brain, causing them to crave it more and more, causing you to want and buy the food more, and by virtue causing, am I even using that right? I've used that twice in this video already, and subsequently causing that person to have a freaking food addiction. And it's not even like they were born to be destined to do that or asked to do that. It just happened, and now they're playing into the system. Now they're using that money that you use to purchase their food to expand and advertise, causing more and more people to get it, and it be a whole constantly self-growing system that can be harmful to many people around them. So yeah, so you just want to ask yourself in all the different things in your life, is this a matrix? And if it is it something I'm wanting to play into, thinking consciously? Is this something I want to consciously put my time and energy and effort spending to put into this? And if so, what am I going to get out of it? And if not even getting anything out of it, is it going to be taking away from me and my life and my relationships and the people around me? And that's a choice for you to make, but it's just something to think about. So I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it was very, very, very wordy and very conceptual, voice crack. But yeah, so just hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Check my socials out on screen. Also, I think they're going to be right here. be sure to use code monkey at retaliationproject.com, as well as get raw nutrition supplements. Or getrawnutrition.com. It's raw nutrition supplements. Use code monkey, MONKY, for 10% off at checkout, and check the description below for my free workout program, my free hypertrophy program that I made for higher volume. Eventually, I will be making one for lower volume, higher intensity. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, have an amazing day. Hopefully, you got something out of this. Share this with somebody that might need to hear it. And yeah, y'all have an amazing day.